What if Ned Stark accepted Renly's offer the night Robert died? Let's explore this alternate timeline together in the video. The king is dying. Robert Baratheon lies in his great bed, stinking of blood and milk of the poppy, his belly torn open by a boar he was too drunk to kill cleanly, and the whole rotten court can smell the ending. In his last lucid hour, he names his oldest friend Protector of the Realm, to rule until Prince Joffrey comes of age, and Eddard Stark, who has learned the terrible secret at the heart of the court, that Joffrey and his siblings are no Baratheons at all, but children of incest between the queen and her brother, changes the words as he writes them, my heir, in place of the boy's name, a small treason in service of a larger truth. And that very night, before the king is even dead, Renly Baratheon comes to the Tower of the Hand with 100 swords and an offer. Strike now. Take the queen and her children into custody before Cersei can move first, because whoever holds the children holds the game. In the world we know, Ned Stark refuses, calling it dishonorable to steal children in the night and shame the king's last hours with blood, and Renly flees the city before dawn, and Ned puts his trust in Littlefinger and the gold cloaks, and the trust kills him. His men are slaughtered in the throne room, his daughters are taken, and his head ends on a spike while a golden monster laughs. But in this timeline, standing in the doorway of his solar, with Robert's seal still warm in his hand, Ned Stark looks at Renly Baratheon and thinks not of honor in the abstract, but of Sansa asleep 2 floors above him, and of Arya, and of what queens do to the daughters of dangerous men. And he hears his own voice answer before his honor can finish objecting.
100 swords, Lord Stark, mine and ready. And every hour we stand here talking, the Queen is counting hers. She knows Robert is finished. Whoever holds Joffrey holds the kingdom, and I promise you, Cersei has never in her life been slow. Take the children tonight, gently, no blood. Wake them with warm words and guards at the door, and by morning, the realm belongs to whoever we say it belongs to. Refuse me, and one of us is dead within the moon. I have watched this court my whole life, my lord. It does not forgive hesitation.
Everything in me says this is wrong, Lord Renly. Dragging children from their beds in the dark while their father dies above them. It is the act of a Tywin Lannister, not of the men we are supposed to be. I want you to hear that, and hear it well, because I will say yes anyway. And I need one man in this city to know that I knew better. My daughters are asleep in this tower. If I gamble on honor and lose, the Queen does not take my head alone, she takes them. So we do this, and we do it my way, bloodless, gentle, and lawful by morning light, or I swear to you I will end it myself. Now listen closely. Both of us only get to make this ugly choice once.
Your way then, and God's be good. The honorable man has a plan. I confess I hoped you would and feared you wouldn't. Speak it.
Your 100 swords take the doors of Maegor's, quietly, servants' passages first. My own men beside them, so this is the Hand's writ and not a Baratheon coup. The Queen and the children are moved to chambers in this tower, together, comfortable, guarded, and no man lays a hand on any of them, on pain of my justice, and they have all seen my justice. At first light, I convene the small council with Robert's own seal, and we do the rest with parchment, not steel. And Renly, one more thing, and it is not a request. Sir Barristan is not to be touched or shamed. Whatever comes, that man's honor is the one piece of this court worth saving whole.
It is done in 2 hours, and it is done almost silently, which no one afterward can quite believe. The gold cloaks at Maegor's stand aside for the Hand's seal and the Hand's men, because Janos Slynt has not yet been bought, because the buying was scheduled for the morrow, and the morrow never comes. Cersei Lannister is woken by torchlight and steel, and she comes out fighting with words alone, magnificent and terrible in her fury, and it avails her nothing, for her Lannister guards are outnumbered 5 to 1, and her children are already being carried, sleepy and unharmed, to the Tower of the Hand. By the time Robert Baratheon breathes his last in the grey hour before dawn, the game is already over, and most of the players never even knew the board had been set. Petter Baelish learns it at sunrise, and those who see his face in that hour say it is the only time in living memory that Littlefinger looked genuinely surprised. He comes to the Tower of the Hand at mid-morning, wearing his best smile over the wreckage of his plans, and finds the Protector of the Realm signing orders at Robert's old campaign desk.
My Lord Protector, the whole city is saying it, you know. They woke up and the world had already been decided. No bells, no blood, nothing for the fishwives to even embroider. I came to offer my congratulations, and the Treasury's full cooperation, and my own humble services, which you will find are considerable in whatever settlement comes next. The gold cloaks, for instance, 6,000 men whose loyalty is, shall we say, a market. I could make that market yours by supper.
Could you? That is generous, Lord Baelish, and it raises a question I've been sitting with all morning, and you are the very man to answer it. When I asked you days ago about the gold cloaks, you counseled me to buy them through you, to trust no one, and to wait. And it occurs to me now, with the Queen in custody and her papers in my strongbox, that I know exactly what waiting would have cost me. So before we speak of markets, answer me plainly, and I will know if you lie, because Varys has been with me since dawn and the two of you keep accounts on each other. Whose man were you going to be yesterday, if last night had gone differently?
Well, the eunuch at your elbow already, that is fast work. I underestimated you, which I assure you almost never happens twice. Plainly then, since plainness is the fashion this morning, yesterday I was going to be the winner's man, my lord, the same as I have been every day since I was a boy, with nothing, because men with nothing do not get the luxury of sides, they get the luxury of survival. Today, you are the winner. That makes my loyalty absolutely sincere, in the only sense that word has ever had in this city. You will never trust me, you would be a fool to, and I can see Catelyn told you about the dagger business. Besides, that was always going to surface eventually. But you can use me, and I am extraordinarily useful, and a wise protector does not throw away a tool because the handle is oily.
No, but he keeps it where he can see it. You will keep the Treasury, Lord Baelish, under a full audit that begins tomorrow, conducted by men Lord Renly and I choose, and you will find the Crown's debts explained to my satisfaction. Every dragon of them. Serve well and openly, and you will prosper openly, which I am told is a novelty you might learn to enjoy. Play your old game a single time, one whisper, one market, one accident, and there will be no trial and no wall. There will be ice in the yard before noon of the same day. I watched you smile at my wife's family gatherings for 15 years, Lord Baelish. The smiling is over. We understand each other.
The spider comes on softer feet and stranger errands. Varys finds the Protector alone that evening on the walk below the sept, where Robert's body lies in state, and the eunuch's face for once wears something that might almost be honest.
You did a thing last night that I calculated impossible, Lord Stark, and my calculations are my livelihood, so you have cost me a certain professional pride. The Honorable Ned Stark, seizing a queen by night. I have spent the day asking myself why, and I believe I have it, and I ask you to indulge me. It was never honor that ruled you, it was protection. The honor was always in service to it, the wolf that guards the den, and last night the den was here. Am I close, my lord?
Close enough that I wonder what you want, Lord Varys, because in my experience of this court, insight is always an invoice. You served the Mad King, you served Robert. This morning you appeared at my door with the Queen's correspondence helpfully sorted. Renly says you serve whoever wins. Littlefinger says you serve yourself. What do you say? And why should I believe any word of it?
I say I serve the realm, my lord, and I expect the same weary look that answer has earned me for 20 years. So let me for once show my sums. Do you know what happens in a war of succession? I do. I was a child in the free cities, where they have them the way Westeros has winters. The lords lose castles, and the small folk lose everything. 100,000 everythings, and no song ever counts them. Last night, you prevented one. Not postponed, prevented. The war of 5 kings that I could see assembling itself like a storm. Gone, because one man moved one night early. So what I want, Lord Stark, is very simple, and it will cost you nothing. I want you to finish it properly. The children's parentage must come out lawfully, before the lords, proven, not whispered, or it festers for a generation of pretenders. And the succession must go where law sends it, However much you and Lord Renly and every man in this city may dislike the destination. You know the destination, my lord. You wrote to him days ago.
The eunuch is not finished with him, and 2 nights later he returns, powdered and soft-footed, with a paper Ned recognizes, for he shouted at a council table over its subject not a moon ago, in another lifetime, when Robert was alive and roaring for the blood of a pregnant girl across the sea.
One loose thread from the old reign, my lord, and I bring it to you rather than to the council, for reasons you will appreciate in a moment. Daenerys Targaryen, wedded to her horse lord, and with child, as my little birds reported. Robert's warrant for her death still technically stands, sealed and paid for, and a certain wine cellar in the Dothraki Sea has not yet been told the king who bought him is cold. One raven from me, and the deed dissolves. One silence from me, and it proceeds. I could have chosen either without troubling you. I find I want the Protector's own word on it, and I want to watch his face while he gives it.
Then watch closely and carry what you see back to whoever you truly answer to. Send the raven tonight. The warrant dies with Robert, and I will put it in writing over my own seal so that no clever man can ever resurrect it as the crown's lost intention. She is a frightened child carrying a babe at the far end of the earth, guilty of nothing but her father's name, and I resigned this very office rather than stain it with her blood. And I have not changed, whatever else this city has changed in me. Was that the answer you came for, Lord Varys?
It was the answer I hoped for, which is a different and rarer thing, and I will confess to you why, since honesty appears to be contagious in this tower. Every man I have served made the same argument in that girl's case, that mercy now purchases war later, that a Targaryen alive is a banner waiting to be raised. And here is what 20 years of whispers have taught me, my lord, which I have never once been permitted to say at a council table. Banners are not raised by blood alone. They are raised by grievance. A princess murdered in her exile is a grievance for a century. Songs, pretenders, sons swearing on her grave. A princess left in peace under a king who rules justly is a woman on the far side of the world with a horse-lord husband and no reason to look west. You have just done more to end the Targaryen cause than every knife Robert ever paid for. I find I am glad I stayed to see it, and my gladness surprises me, and at my age, surprises are the whole of my remaining pleasures.
You speak of the girl as if you carry some private weight in the matter, Lord Varys. One day I will ask you what it is, and I will expect the truth, all of it. And you will decide before that day comes whether you can live in a realm at peace, or whether the realm is only ever a board to you and quiet times an empty one. I have use for a spider who serves the realm in truth. I have ice for one who is merely waiting for a better war. Consider the question at your leisure. My memory is long, and my daughters tell me I am very patient.
The destination is Dragonstone. Stannis Baratheon, the middle brother, humorless, iron, unloved, and with Cersei's children out of the line by their very blood, the lawful heir to the Iron Throne. Ned has known it since he first read Mallion's dusty book of lineages. The black of hair, the seed is strong, and it is over this destination that the alliance of that first night nearly breaks apart. In the hand Solar, 3 days after the seizure, brother against law and law against charm.
Stannis, you sit there with the whole kingdom in your hands, the first man in 100 years to hold it without an army at his back, and you propose to hand it to Stannis. Have you met my brother, Lord Stark? The realm does not love him. The realm barely tolerates him. He will rule these 7 kingdoms like a septon rationing sin, and Highgarden and the West will be in rebellion within 2 years, and everything we saved on that first night will be spent double. I offered you 100 swords, and I have offered you 50,000 more. The Reach stands ready. Mace Tyrell will kneel to a settlement that crowns a king men can follow. It does not have to be Stannis. It could be Joffrey under our regency, stripped of his mother, raised properly. Gods help me, it could be me, and you know it, and I know it, and I would be good at it, which my brother never will be.
You would be good at the wearing of it, Renly. I have watched you charm this court for years, and I do not doubt the lords would cheer. But hear the thing you are actually proposing, and hear it in plain northern words, because southern ones keep slipping. You are proposing that we, who took a queen captive to stop her from stealing the succession, now steal it ourselves, because our thief has better manners. No, I did not put my soul in pawn on that night so that the strongest smile in the room could take the crown. I did it so that the law could. Joffrey is not Robert's son. Stannis is Robert's heir. Everything else, his hardness, his temper, the realm's cold shoulder, everything else is a problem to be managed, and I will spend my last year in this city managing it. But the line holds, Renly. The moment the line becomes negotiable, every ambitious man in Westeros learns that crowns go to whoever moves fastest on the right night, and there will be a right night every generation, forever. I am building a wall against that lesson. Help me build it, and Stannis will need a master of laws and a master of the realm's love, and no man alive is better shaped for the second office than you.
You are asking me to spend my life making my brother tolerable. There are septons who mortify the flesh with less ambition. And the maddening thing, Stark, the truly maddening thing, is that you mean every word. There is not one drop of self-interest in you to negotiate with. It is like bargaining with a heart tree. Very well, the law's man wins, this once. Stannis has my knee and my 50,000 swords, and he will have them because you asked, not because he deserves them, and I want that noted somewhere. But you will do one thing for me in return, Lord Protector. You will stand beside me when we tell him, and you will watch his face try to decide whether being right pleases him more than being crowned. It will be the finest entertainment this court has offered in years.
The letter goes to Dragonstone under 3 seals, the Hands, the Council's and Renly's own. And while the realm holds its breath for the answer, the 2 architects of the quiet coup walk the walls above the King's Gate, where the traffic of an undestroyed city rumbles below them, oblivious to its own good fortune.
My brother's reply arrived this morning, did you hear? 4 lines long. 4 lines, Stark, to answer being handed the 7 kingdoms. He acknowledges the succession. He names the hour of his landing. He instructs, mark you, that no feast be held. And he spells out his fleet's provisioning requirements. Not one word of thanks. Not to you, not to me, not to the gods. I read it and I laughed until the Maester feared for me, because it is so perfectly, fatally him. We have made a king out of a supply manifest. I hope your law is proud of us.
It is the most reassuring letter I have received in a year, and I will tell you why, since your laughter needs ballast. Every pretender and usurper in the histories writes back a beautiful letter, all gratitude and destiny because he is selling something. Your brother wrote back logistics because to him this was never a prize to be won. It was a duty rolling toward him with the tide. And duty does not say thank you. It says, how many barrels? The realm will not love him, you have the right of that. And so the realm's love becomes your office, Renly. And I mean that as no jest. Master of Laws was Robert's idea of a jape when he gave it to you. Under Stannis, it will be the second seat in the kingdom, the man who makes the iron taste bearable. The question is whether you have the patience for greatness that arrives dressed as thankless work. Your eldest brother never did. I think you might, and I have staked rather a lot on it.
Flattery from Ned Stark. Now I have truly lived through wonders. Very well, I will say the true thing back to you, since we are on a wall where no one can hear my reputation crack. That night in your doorway, I came to you because I thought you were the only piece strong enough and simple enough to move first. And I fully intended, Stark, I intended it happily, to be standing closest to the middle of the board when the dust settled, and we both know what sits in the middle of the board. And instead, somewhere between that night and this wall, you did something unforgivable. You made the dull, lawful, thankless road look like the only one a man could walk and keep his own respect. I will never forgive you for it, and I will be serving my brother faithfully for 30 years because of it. And history will call me Renly the Steadfast, or some such horror, and it will be entirely your fault. There, never speak of this conversation again.
One more matter, and then your secret dies on this wall. The gold cloaks want cleaning, top to bottom. Slint sold himself twice before I ever reached this city, and the rot runs down from him. And the King's Guard wants rebuilding around Sir Barristan. The Boros Blounce and Meryn Trance of it are palace furniture with swords. And a king as unloved as your brother will need 7 white cloaks the realm actually believes in. Take both tasks. They are exactly the kind of unglamorous, essential work that turns a charming lord into a great one. And besides, you will enjoy sacking Janos Slint. Everyone will. We may need to sell seats.
Before Stannis can come, the Queen must be faced, and Ned Stark goes down to her comfortable prison alone, against all advice, because there is a thing in him that must look at her when he says it. Cersei Lannister receives him seated like a court is being held, and she its sovereign, golden and unbowed, and her first words are a blade.
The Honorable Lord Stark, who steals children in their sleep. I have been sitting here 3 days, composing what I will say to you, and I have decided to begin with congratulations. You did what I would have done, one night before I did it. There is hope for you yet, Wolf, though I notice you cannot meet my eyes while I say it. Look at me. You came to speak of my children's blood. Speak of it.
I came to tell you what happens now, and to give you a choice I suspect no one in this keep believes you deserve. The Lords convene in a fortnight. Mallion's lineages, the testimony of Robert's base-born children, 16 of them, black-haired every one, and your own letters will be read into the record. Your children will be declared what they are. Not monsters, Cersei, I will say this to the Lords myself, children, blameless in their own making and under my protection, and any man who speaks of harming them answers to ice, but not kings, never kings. That part is written and cannot be unwritten. Your choice concerns only you. Confess before the council, spare the realm a trial, and you go to the Silent Sisters or to Casterly Rock under guard, your father's choice, and you will see your children at intervals, supervised for the rest of your life. Deny it, force the trial, and it comes out anyway. Every letter and stable boy's memory of it, and the settlement afterward will not be mine to soften. I know which choice serves your pride. I am asking you to make the one that serves your children.
My children. You say the word as if you invented it, as if the she-wolf of the rock could not possibly know what it means. Everything I have done since the day I was sold to your drunken friend, everything was for my children. And history will call it monstrous. And history is written by men like you, so I expect nothing better. But you should thank the gods on your knees, Stark, that you moved when you did. Because I want you to know it, in that honorable heart, and carry it always. If you had waited, if you had trusted your parchment and your gods one more day, I would have taken your daughters and your head, and I would have slept soundly after, the way lions sleep. You were never playing against the queen. You were playing against the mother, and the mother has no rules at all. Remember that when you sit in judgment of me. And send in wine if your mercy runs to it. It appears I have a confession to compose.
The audit of the treasury bears its strange fruit within the moon, and it is Littlefinger himself who brings the worst page to the Tower of the Hand. Laying it on the desk like a man laying down a losing hand, he has decided to declare before it is called.
Before your auditors reach Ledger 9, my lord, I have decided you will hear it from me, because presentation is 9 parts of survival, and I am nothing if not a survivor. The crown owes 6 million dragons, 3 to the Rock, 2 to the Faith and the Tyroshi Banks, and 1, the interesting one, to a web of holding ventures that, when your diligent men finish pulling the threads, will resolve into brokerages in which I hold interests. The money is not stolen. I want that understood with perfect clarity. Every dragon is accounted, lent, moving, working. But I built a machine in which the crown's debt made Peter Baelish indispensable and richer with every year Robert drank. And I did it because an indispensable man cannot be discarded, and men from nothing think of little else. There it is. You said openly or ice. I am choosing openly, and I confess, I am curious which of us is more surprised.
Both of us, I would say, and my wife will not believe a word of this letter when I write it. Here is what happens now, Lord Baelish, and note that you are alive at the end of it, which your candor has purchased. The machine is dismantled, publicly, by your own hand, presented to the council as reforms of your own devising, and you will be praised for them, because a realm that watched a bloodless succession does not need a treasury scandal in the same year. Your interest in the ventures passed to the crown as a gift, which will be graciously received. And you will spend the next 10 years doing with your gifts what you have never once done, making the crown rich instead of making the crown dependent. And if you manage it, you will end a great lord with a clean name, which is the one thing all your scheming could never buy. Fail me, cheat me, or so much as invest ambiguously, and we return to the arrangement involving the yard and the hour before noon. You wanted to know which of us is more surprised. Ask me again in 10 years.
A clean name. Do you know, of all the threats and offers this room has heard, that may be the first genuinely novel one. My Lord Hand, you have found the single bribe I never thought to price. 10 years then. Do have your auditors go gently through Ledger 9. Some of it is actually rather brilliant.
Tywin Lannister's answer to the seizure of his daughter is exactly what the whole realm expects. Fire in the Riverlands. And for a moon, it seems the war has come anyway. But wars need banners more than they need rage. And one by one, Tywin's banners rot in his hands. The confession of Cersei, read to the assembled lords in her own steady voice, ends the Lannister claim in an afternoon. And no Western lord's son will die to put a boy on a throne that boy has no blood right to hold. Stannis lands at the head of the royal fleet, grim as granite, lawful as arithmetic, with Renly Golden at his side in a show of Baratheon unity that fools no one and reassures everyone. And when the protector of the realm, the man who by every precedent should be dead or reigning, kneels in the throne room and lays Robert's seal at the feet of Robert's true heir, asking nothing, keeping nothing. The last of the war goes out of the west like air from a bladder. Tywin Lannister offered honourable terms, his daughter's life, his grandchildren's wardship at court under their own name, the crown's debts to the rock honoured in full, takes them with a face like a closed gate, because Tywin Lannister has never once in his life thrown good soldiers after a lost hand. Before the coronation, before the West's submission is even sealed, there is one more meeting in the comfortable prison, because Cersei Lannister demands it, and Ned Stark, against all advice a second time, grants it. She stands at the window now, not enthroned, watching her children in the garden below under the eyes of kind guards. Tommen chasing something, Myrcella laughing, Joffrey apart and sullen, and she does not turn when the hand enters.
They tell me it is Casterly Rock for me, my father's choice, as you said, and that he chose it so he can spend his remaining years reminding me daily what my indiscretions cost the house. Between his silence and the sisters' silence, I begin to think I chose the noisier punishment. But that is not why I summoned you, Wolf. And yes, a prisoner summoned the protector. And yes, you came, which tells me what I always suspected, that your honor is a leash anyone can pull who knows where it fastens. Look down there, look at my children, and then tell me again, to my face, the thing your parchments promise. Tell me what becomes of them, and do not speak to me as a council speaks. Speak as what you are, a father to a mother, in the only language we both have never once lied in.
Then in that language, plainly. Tommen and Myrcella are children, sweet ones, and the whole court has seen it, and they will be fostered as wards of the crown under their own true name. Hill no longer. I have had them naturalized as Lannisters of the Rock by the king's own decree, with incomes settled and marriages that will be theirs to refuse. They will grow up whole, Cersei, watched but whole, and no man will speak their birth against them in my hearing or the king's, while either of us breathes. Joffrey is harder, and you know it is. And you know why better than I do. Whatever it is that lives behind that boy's eyes, you have seen it longest. He goes to the faith, to the starry sept in Old Town, far from every whisper that might make him a banner, with septons chosen for patience. It is not cruelty. It is the largest mercy his nature leaves room for, and if the gods can gentle him, no door is closed forever. That is the whole truth, mother to father and back again. Your children lose a lie. They keep their lives, their name, and each other. It is more than the game usually leaves anyone, and you know that too.
Yes, it is more than I left the last woman, whose children stood between me and what I wanted. And you are too courteous to say so, and I am done pretending not to know my own reflection. So I will pay the only coin I have left, Stark, and it will astonish us both. Thank you. Not for the mercy. Mercy is easy for men who win. For the naturalization, for thinking of the name. 20 years in this city, and the only man who ever troubled to make my children safe on paper, in law, permanently, is the man I meant to destroy. My father will draw a lesson from that about the uses of reputation. I have drawn a different one, and I will keep it to myself, and it will keep me warm at the rock when his silences grow long. Go home to your she-wolf, Eddard Stark. Guard those girls, and when you pray to those grim trees of yours, spare a word for the truth we proved together, you and I, one night, 1 year ago, that everything in this world worth doing is done for the children, and the whole bloody game is only ever about who does it cleanest.
They crown Stannis, first of his name, in the great sept before the year turns, and the small council that serves him is the strangest assortment of enemies in the realm's memory, Renly charming what Stannis chills, Varys whispering what serves, Littlefinger counting under 4 auditors' eyes and hating every honest minute, Sir Barristan at the king's shoulder, untouched and unashamed. And on a cold, bright morning that smells at last faintly of snow, the hand of 2 kings resigns his office in the throne room, and the new king, who wastes no words, spends a few anyway.
My work here is finished, Your Grace, and it was never work I wanted. And you, of all men, know the difference between duty taken up and duty enjoyed. My daughters are packed, my household is horsed, and there is a boy in Winterfell running my north who thinks a broken tower is for climbing. I am going home. Rule hard and rule fairly, and the north will answer your ravens all my days. And take one parting counsel from the only man in this city with nothing left to gain from you. The realm did not love you yesterday. It does not love you today. Give it justice anyway, every day, without counting, and one morning, 20 years from now, it will discover it trusts you. And trust from this kingdom is worth more than love, and lasts longer.
He rides out the king's gate with Sansa and Arya beside him, past the spot where in another world his head fell to his daughter's screaming. And he does not know it, and no one in that column knows it, and that is the whole mercy of it. Sansa rides home, unbroken, still half in love with songs, and now old enough to write better ones. And in time, the Reach will send its most charming rose north to court her under her father's wary eye. Arya rides home with a needle at her hip and a water dancer's first lessons in her wrists, and she will grow into something Winterfell has not seen since Lyanna, and no ship to Braavos will ever carry her name. Robb never calls the banners, never wears a crown, never hears of a place called the Twins except as a toll bridge, and greets his father at Winterfell's gate as a boy still, with years of boyhood left to spend. And on the wall, a black brother named Jon Snow reads his father's letters by candlelight, letters that now have time to say the things they never said. And the North stands whole and provisioned and watchful behind him, which will matter in the years to come, more than any of them yet know, for winter is still coming. And this time, the realm that meets it is not a graveyard of kings, but a kingdom at peace, with its wolves alive. The realm he leaves behind will know no war of the 5 kings, no red wedding, no burning riverlands, only the long grey peace of a hard king well served. And years on, when his children ask him about the terrible year in the south, about the night that decided everything, Eddard Stark gives them the only answer he ever gives, that honour is not a shield a man polishes for his own reflection. It is a wall he builds around the people the gods gave him to protect. And one dark night in a dying king's castle, the gods asked him which of the 2 he had truly meant all his life, and he is at peace with the answer, and the wolves of Winterfell run in the snow. That's my view of this alternate timeline. I am Maester Black, and this has been The Black Dread. Westeros is a land filled with exciting stories and endless possibilities, and we are here to uncover them with you. If you want to accompany us on this journey across the 7 kingdoms and beyond, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.